MMA never gives us a quiet week. This one was packed with wild headlines. Charles Oliveira finally getting a short notice replacement, Conor McGregor being dismissed as irrelevant by some and hyped by others, Daniel Cormier predicting Conor's spotlight comeback, and Paddy Pimblett going nuclear on Ilia Topuria. And that's not all. We also had TJ Dillashaw praising Diego Lopes, Merab making bold promises, Alex Pereira accusing Ankalaev of hiding, and Dana White trolling the entire fan base with a cigar. Let's break it all down. And it starts in Brazil with Charles Oliveira's opponent drama. UFC Rio was in jeopardy when Rafael Fiziev pulled out of his fight with Charles Oliveira. Fans feared the card would lose its star attraction, but now a replacement is locked in. Mateusz Gamrot is officially stepping in on short notice to face Oliveira. Gamrot didn't hesitate, promising that fighting Oliveira in Brazil would be a true masterclass on the ground. He made it clear he's ready, even without a full training camp. Meanwhile, Fiziev opened up about why he had to withdraw.
Yeah, many people asking me what happened with me, why I'm out from the fight. I injured my knee again, but alhamdulillah, no need to do surgery. But I cannot push 100%, I cannot work, cannot wrestle, cannot sparring. And yeah, have to heal up right now, couple months, and come back to the fight. Guys, I wish to fight in Brazil. This is my dream fight, but I already have couple surgery in my knee, and it's big risk to going with my knee, with my injured knee right now to fight. So it's a big risk. Third surgery in the same knee, that's not good. I have to heal up, guys.
It's disappointing for Fiziev, but Oliveira has his fight, and Rio still has its star power. But while UFC Rio found its replacement, another huge showdown is being called irrelevant before it even happens. Matt Brown didn't hold back when asked about Conor McGregor's long-rumored fight with Michael Chandler.
Right, we would all talk about it and fighting, but like Michael Chandler and Conor McGregor is a completely irrelevant fight. Right? Like that is like there's no relevance whatsoever. It does nothing other than, I guess, sell tickets maybe. Jon Jones brings a lot to the table, right? You know, the GOAT, and, you know, be fighting for a title, I'm sure, against Tom Aspinall. Like, assuming that Aspinall beats Cyril Gane too. I mean, you know, this fight hasn't happened yet. You know, that could be a game changer too, right? But I think Jon Jones would do fine, because I think the White House card, like, it's going to be as big of a card as it's going to be, regardless of who's in there. Really, obviously, you want the biggest star you can get, but then if you want an American, yeah, you got to go with Jon Jones. There's no one else that I could think of that would be legitimate enough. You know, but if you're going like the Conor McGregor route, you know, you're talking about kind of more or less irrelevant fights. You know, and you're gonna bring in Ronda Rousey. I mean, now you've gotten two irrelevant fights. You know, like you're literally just selling because of star power. And for us hardcore fans, long-term hardcore serious fans, that doesn't bring any interest to me at all. Now, Jon Jones fighting, particularly Tom Aspinall, assuming again that he goes out and beats Gane, that's interesting.
It was a blunt take, but one that many hardcore fans secretly agree with. But not everyone is writing Conor off. In fact, Daniel Cormier thinks this time could finally be different. Daniel Cormier has heard Conor McGregor promise his return too many times, but this time, DC believes it might actually happen.
I believe that this time, there's a stronger possibility because of all the time that's passed And I believe that the White House is going to be that big a deal to him. But I think the biggest factor in why Conor McGregor may fight is because no one believes him anymore. And some of that shine is starting to wear off. It doesn't matter how much money you got, Chill. When you're a guy that develops the level of stardom that he reached, when you're a guy that loves the attention and the adulation, and it starts to fade, then you come back and you do what you did before. Because guess what, Chill? It doesn't have to be a big win. It just has to be a win or a fight that propels him into the spotlight. Because when he came back and fought Cowboy Cerrone, all respect to Donald. Donald was scared of him, and he did not fight him. He got beat by Conor McGregor so easy, but that was a great matchup for McGregor. I believe the Chandler matchup is a great matchup because Michael won't wrestle him, and he's dangerous when he's striking. So yes, I think he's coming back, but it's not because he wants to compete. I think he's coming back because he understands now that people aren't just in on the Conor McGregor business anymore. You and I spoke about this show before. Put Conor in a thumbnail, 100,000 views. Didn't matter. Now it doesn't matter. Put Conor in the thumbnail, don't put Conor in the thumbnail. People just like, we're kind of over it. But the moment he's back in the spotlight, really getting ready to fight, or he fights, he'll be right back where he needs to be. Then he can be as crazy as he wants to be, because that's when he gets as ridiculous as he ever is.
So don't be surprised if McGregor finally walks to the cage again. Not because he wants to compete, but because he refuses to be forgotten. But while DC talked about faded stars, TJ Dillashaw was shining a spotlight on a new one. Diego Lopes has quickly become a fan favorite for his flashy knockouts, but TJ Dillashaw reminded everyone not to overlook his grappling. Breaking down Lopez's recent TKO over Gene Silva, Dillashaw explained how a simple mistake, Silva throwing a spinning kick without setup, let Lopes take him down and dominate.
Crazy. Dude, Silva throwing that spinning back kick with no setup made it easy for Diego to take him down. Like, I don't know, no setup, just threw it, gave up his back. That dictated the whole first round, and I was super impressed with Diego's ground game. Like, for him to go from, like, he would go, took the back, threw his hooks in where he's low on the hips. Then Gene would give up mount, and then for Diego to get on his chest and sit on his chest so high, and how well he was able to control him, very, very impressive. And then he'd roll back to his back and he would sink back down again and throw his hooks in. I thought that was quite amazing, and you forget how good Diego's ground game is because he's got so much power in his hands, you know? Because his ground game's, watching that, his ground game's sick.
It's high praise from a former champion, and it shows that Lopes may be far more complete than fans realize. But Lopes isn't the only fighter making bold claims. Merab Dvalishvili is promising to knock out Cory Sandhagen, and Cory had the perfect response. Merab Dvalishvili has built his reputation on relentless wrestling and suffocating pressure. But ahead of his fight with Cory Sandhagen at UFC 320, Merab made a bold promise. He plans to strike with Cory and knock him out. Cory's reaction? Pure disbelief.
I mean, Merab's kind of he's a workhorse, you know? He's not the biggest puncher in the game. His striking's a little bit clunky, but that's okay. He still makes it work. Like, there's plenty of guys that I can think of that just make their stuff work. And I think that that's a really sign of a really highly intelligent and really good fighter.
Laughing at the claim, Sandhagen said it's a horrible idea and promised to expose Merab on the feet.
I think that we've done a really, really good job this camp of pushing really hard, but not only pushing really hard, but also being able to fight really smart in certain times, how to fight the takedowns extremely hard and then get right back to striking. And yeah, I mean, outside of those two paths to victory, what is Merab gonna do? Knock me out? Like that's not happening, you know? So this fight is gonna be striking. It's gonna be me defending the shots. And I know that he's been saying that he's gonna strike. That's not true. And if that is true, like, that's a horrible idea. Don't do that, Merab. But that's what the fight's gonna be anyways. So yeah, I'm excited for it, man. I think that I got all the tools that I need in order to win this one. And I'm pumped for my stock to shoot through the roof and for me to be in the category of fighter that is champion.
Meanwhile, another rivalry is heating up. this time involving Alex Pereira and Magomed Ankalaev. Alex Pereira may be one of the scariest strikers in MMA, but he's also one of the sport's best trolls. Recently, Pereira claimed that Magomed Ankalaev literally hid from him at the UFC Performance Institute. According to Pereira, both men were in the same building, but Ankalaev kept his distance.
O treinador do Ankalaev, eu fiquei ali na minha, mas não vi o Ankalaev. O engraçado foi na hora que eu saí do PI, e aí quando eu cheguei no carro, né, um cara do meu time, né, tava lá dentro ainda, né, e viu, tipo, a menina do PI falando pro Ankalaev, pode vir, ele já foi embora já, tipo, porra, escondendo o cara, se escondendo o cara na salinha ali, velho. O cara acha que eu vou encontrar ele e vou sair brigando com o cara, velho. Pô, sou idiota, né, velho? Mas o ponto de o cara se esconder na sala, velho, porque eu tô no mesmo ambiente, velho. Ah, pô, o cara é um frouxo, velho. Esse é um... Mas aí, tipo, pô, que campeão é esse, velho? Que campeão de merda, velho. Aí, achei a única besteira que eu falei, velho. Mas é um campeão de merda, velho, um cara desse. Mas sabe por quê? Não pelo que ele fala, mas hoje tem que se esconder numa sala, velho. Demonstrou que é um cagão, velho.
With their rematch looming, this only adds fuel to the fire. Pereira thrives on intimidation, and if his story is true, he may already have the mental edge. But speaking of heated rivalries, Paddy Pimblett just went nuclear on Ilia Topuria. Paddy Pimblett isn't impressed by Ilia Topuria's rise to the featherweight title. In fact, he's calling it the easiest road to the belt he's ever seen.
I think Ilia had the easiest road to the belt. He had to beat Josh Emmett to get a title shot. He beat Ryan Hall, Josh Emmett, Bryce Mitchell. That was one of the easiest routes I've ever seen to a title shot. Michael Chandler had beat Josh Emmett, Bryce, and I really like Bryce, you know what I mean? I really like Josh Emmett, they're good fighters, but Michael Chandler had beat all of the people he fought before he fought Volk. And he wouldn't have beat Volk if Volk wasn't knocked out like 8 weeks earlier, 12 weeks earlier. You know what I mean? Everything's happened at the right time for Topuria, apart from when he fights me.
To raise the stakes, Paddy offered to fight Ilia in Spain at the Santiago Bernabeu Stadium, right in front of what he called Ilia's fake countrymen.
I want to fight Ilia, whenever, wherever. I'd love to come to Bernabeu and punch your face in. You know what I mean? Do it in Spain, in front of your fake countrymen, because you're really German. You know what I mean? I'd love to come and punch your face in front of 90,000 people in the Bernabeu. In enemy territory for me, because the Bernabeu is a shithole.
But while fighters were firing shots, Dana White was busy trolling fans in his own way. Dana White knows how to stir up the MMA community. Recently, he posted a photo of himself smoking a cigar with the caption, "I have a feeling today is going to be an incredible day." Fans immediately started speculating about huge announcements. Maybe Conor's return, maybe a blockbuster fight reveal. Instead, Dana followed up with a second post. "I jumped the gun. Today is going to be a regular day." Classic Dana. No big announcement, just a reminder that he loves to keep fans guessing, and sometimes trolling. So there you have it. This week in MMA had everything. Drama, call-outs, legends, and laughs. But what story stole the show for you? Was it Oliveira finally getting a fight, Paddy and Ilia's growing feud, or Dana White trolling the fan base? Drop your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe for more MMA chaos every week.